Hello, Potato, and welcome to Weekend Magic for November the 26th, 2022. It is Black Weekend, Green Weekend. It is the weekend after Thanksgiving. And while the desk may scream holidays, there's always room for Halloween in my heart. And in particular, even aside from Halloween, there's always room for the Haunted Mansion. And so with that in mind, we not only have our holidayed up Haunted Mansion bust with us, we have Minnie Mouse, the main attraction, Haunted Mansion, number 10 of 12. See, series 10 of 12 from 2020, the year the world ended. And this, to me, is one of the better sets in the Minnie Mouse main attraction series. There were a lot of good ones. I'm going to say more good ones there than honestly there really have been of Mickey Mouse, the main attraction. But I mentioned Mickey Mouse because, as you can probably guess, if not from seeing Minnie there, or indeed looking at the title of the video, or the thumbnail, or indeed the description of the video, today we're going to talk about the thing that I wanted to talk about last week, and that is part 10 of Mickey Mouse, the main attraction, the Haunted Mansion. Yep, I've been waiting all year for this one, and finally, near the end of November, the October one has finally come out, and still no date that I've seen for the Jungle Cruise one, but I will say right now, I'll tell you this for free, I do not have very high hopes for Jungle Cruise. The ears and the backpack both look pretty atrocious on that one from pictures. Now maybe I will feel differently when I have it in my hand in front of me, although I don't think we're going to get the backpack, but the ears we'll get. But looking at the pictures online, not loving it. Not loving it at all, but we will be disappointed by that presumably next month. Well, I mean, must be next month, because even if they release these today, tomorrow, Monday, they will definitely not be here before December 1st. But that's like I said, we'll worry about that. We'll get to that. Instead, today, we have the Haunted Mansion collection, except the backpack. My wife did not want the backpack, and I have no interest in the backpacks personally, so we didn't get the backpack. But we have the other things, and as usual, we will start small and work our way up. So let's start small by going down there to look at this. MTMA Q123 Mickey Mouse the main attraction. What does Q123 mean? But we're back to dates. October limited release pin, LRPN. So we got months again. We've stopped going with just 10, because since Prince Charming, we've had just numbers, and I guess because maybe they thought they were going to be back on track with October, and they missed it by actually quite a bit. But it's here now, and of course we can't look at it properly because there's a big sticker in front of it. So let's take it out of the bag, and here we go. Out of his bag, we have our Haunted Mansion Mickey Mouse pin. And I'm gonna say, looking at the pin, not looking at the plush yet. I mean, I've kind of looked at the plush, but not in any real detail. That does look fairly reminiscent of a cast member uniform. I'm gonna say more so than Minnie did. Definitely the colors. We have, of course, pin on pin. The hat is, as I think has been pretty standard in this set, a separate piece. But the colors seem like, really, for being dark colors, they seem really vibrant to me. Very glossy too. Maybe it's just because it is a dark color, it seems very glossy. Is that glittery? No, it's not glittery. It does seem like there's some lines in it. I think they're just smudges, but this does feel like a finish that could scratch really easily. But of course, it is 10 of 12. And there's a double pin back. There are words, which we won't read because we'll read them off the key in a minute. But it's a nice pin. I'm definitely happy with the pin. I don't think I've ever been terribly disappointed with the pins in this collection. Indeed, I think there are times when the pin has looked better than the plush it's meant to look like. I hope that's not the case here. I hope the plush looks just as good as the pin. But the pin, I am pleased with. It's nice. I like the colors. I like the Haunted Mansion-ness of it. It is the set I've been waiting these past 10.5 months for. Now let's move on to something a little bigger. The key. Here it is, key 10 of 12, Haunted Mansion. It's a fairly plain key, but I kind of like it. It's I've got, of course, the 50th anniversary castle down there, but it's not bright. It doesn't look super plasticky except for over Madame Leota there. Can we get a good look at this? It's super glary. It's something I've disliked about these keys this whole year is that they're super glary and it's hard to look at them. Instead, you just get a reflection of me and or my camera more than a look at the actual item. But there we go. So yeah, there's the teeth. We have kind of reminiscent of the wallpaper in the stretching room for the main shaft of the key there, up to our little bat chain holders, and up to the top we have Madame Leota and her seance. We have the harp and the drum and the trumpet and some eyes, and I don't know what that is, because I don't know what that is. It's obviously something from the seance room though. And then we have actually very effective Madame Leota in her crystal ball as the head of the key, which is actually quite nice, reminiscent of the little bauble on Minnie's head on the plush. The one thing I dislike about this is that is the part that looks super plasticky to me. It looks like instead of like a glass bubble, we've got a plastic bubble, and it's a little hazy. You know, it doesn't look so much like they've intentionally done that as like it got like scuffed up in production. I mean, evenly so though, not like just a scuff on it like it got dropped or something. Just, I feel like that should be clearer. I don't really view Madame Leota as being particularly foggy in the ride. Maybe she's in Florida though. Maybe that's what I'm missing. But of course we have, and are undoubtedly the same or almost the same as what appears on the Minnie Mouse main attraction. We have the words on the back of this. They have all retired here to the Haunted Mansion. Actually, we have 999 happy haunts here, but there's room for 1,000. Any volunteers? Embark on a spine-tingling journey through the eerie estate in your Doom Buggy. Quite a few spectral surprises await, first opening on October 1st, 1971 in the Magic Kingdom Park at Walt Disney World Resort. The Haunted Mansion attraction continues to promise creepy fun for everyone. Now, what did it say on Minnie? We have Minnie over here. Let's see what Minnie said. And here we go. No, the Minnie one's actually different. Minnie says, here, let's get it closer to the camera. There's always room for one more, and then it goes on to be fairly similar. But yeah, I think that's probably the most different we've had. Of course, the dates are different, and after the embark on a spine-tingling journey, that's all the same. But they went with a different quote. That's interesting. I wonder why that is. I feel like that is the biggest deviation between Mickey and Minnie we've seen all year long. But yeah, it is one of the nicer keys, I think. I wish that had been, I would just wish the crystal ball over Leota's face was a little clearer, a little cleaner, but I am quite pleased with the key. So I'm loving the key, loving the pin, which means it's time to move on to the ears. So these were shipped separately from everything else in the collection. They were a pre-order item, but they arrived like literally 2 days later. I think the rest of the stuff arrived on, I think, Monday, and these arrived on, I believe, Wednesday. So not very far behind. Now, unfortunately, so these weren't sealed. I haven't actually, I mean, I've taken them out of the plastic because they weren't sealed to begin with. But unfortunately, these were shipped in a poly mailer. No bubble wrap, no padding of any sort, not in a box. And unfortunately, I think I fixed it for the most part, but unfortunately, it got a little squished, which I'm like honestly really displeased about, because I really like these ears, or want to like these ears, but the brim is all like kind of smashed. They didn't do the thing where they have the cutout to go in front of the ears, so that's nice because we don't have that. Well, we don't necessarily have that issue. We have a different issue because there is kind of like a firm, like the material here is like kind of a firm material, which means having been smushed in a poly mailer, it has kind of unfortunately become kinked in that shape. I mean, if you tilt it up, it's not so bad, but if you tilt it up, then you can't see the hat band. I think with some work, this could be fixed. The other problem was, so the hat itself, honestly, one of the nicer hats in the series, but it's got like a plastic reinforcer in it, and when it arrived, it was all crushed in. So I think I fixed that part of it at least. But yeah, the hat, the actual brim, that's going to take a little more finessing if we really want to do the thing. That's a little better. It's still crooked, but it's a little bit better. See, if you do it too far, it just kind of flops back down again. But it's workable. We have, of course, the eyes on the ears, and I don't think they're day glow or anything, are they? They might. Well, you know what that means. It means we need to turn the lights off. All right, so these. Oh, I think they do. I think they do glow. Unfortunately, even with the main lights off, there's still a fair amount of light in here, but yeah, those glow in the dark. That's cool. Yeah, I am back to the torch. I don't keep that big black light from Halloween out all the time. So I didn't realize those were going to glow in the dark. That's cool. Let's put the lights back on. All right, now that we can see properly again, let's look at the rest of it. To say the Haunted Mansion on here, and it's more of a velvety outside. You face a lot of satiny stuff. This is a little more velvety. It feels a little bit more like the material on the inside, which kind of is a little rough. You go one way and it's smooth and satiny, or felty, satiny. I don't know. It's smooth one way and rough the other. But the kind of interesting thing on this is, I think because we have different fabric, we don't have any of that pinching up by the ears that we've seen on most of the ears, to some extent, this entire collection. And of course in the back, Disney World 50. But yeah, this is one of the nicer ones, I think. So yeah, so far, I mean, I wish it had been shipped nicer. I wish it had come in a box or in some sort of padding. I wish the hat hadn't been so smashed up. There's like lining in the hat. I wonder why that seems like an unnecessary detail, but it's not like fastened or glued in place or anything, but there's lining in the hat. That's interesting. Or I find it interesting. Maybe you don't. Maybe you find it boring. I would assume if you find it that boring, you probably wouldn't have gotten this far in the video though. And of course, the big CVS receipt tag. So yeah, so nice. So far we're 3 for 3. Good key, good pin, good ears. But what about the mouse himself? Okay, so we've reached the point in the video, the grand finale, where we look at the plush. Now this is, I mean, I would argue this is probably the most important part of the collection. I mean, the keys are nice, pins are always important, ears are nice, but the plush, because it's the plush that really are easier to display. You put them on a doll stand, you put them up somewhere. Will the Mickey plush be as nice as the Mickey pin, or at least the Mickey pin makes it look? Well, here he is in his bag. See, we haven't opened him yet. So let's take him out. You know, notice nothing's wrapped in paper this time. A lot of these have had bits of them wrapped in paper, so I'm guessing there's not going to be any like shiny vinyl faux leather kind of bits on him. Nope, he all feels very velvety. Let's get him onto the doll stand so we can take a good look at him. All right, so here we go. Mickey Mouse the plush. And I like it. I do like it. So we do have the stripes like the cast member outfits have. It's still not quite a cast member's uniform, which I still think would have been better if we just had gone like a full cast member uniform with them. But it works. It's more, again, I think it's more cast member uniformy than Minnie is. Shoes are plain, but this here's 10 of 12. Little waistcoat. So one thing, so of course we have a lot of usage of the wallpaper print. You expect that on pretty much anything Haunted Mansion nowadays. But one thing on him, what is this? Is that meant to be like a boutonniere? Is it a handkerchief? Whatever it is, why is it on his shoulder and not over here? It feels like whether it should be a handkerchief or like a boutonniere, it should be up here on his chest, not over here on his shoulder. That's See, 'cause on the pin, I mean, it shows it on the other side, but that looks like it's meant to be like a boutonniere. So I wonder, is this like a production issue? Was it just put together wrong, or why is his flower on his shoulder and not on his, like, the front of his jacket by his lapel, where one would expect it to be? But, yeah, so that's not great. But got nice velvety outfit, fairly kind of matches the material of the ears. This doll stand doesn't want to stand up. That's not good. There we go. Huh. They don't make these doll stands anymore, apparently, or at least we can't find them. Forgot to see the hat. Hat's quite a little lopsided, unfortunately. That may be intentional. I'm really not sure, because it does seem like it's just kind of made that way. It kind of sticks up more on this side than this side. I mean, overall, the fabric on him feels cheaper. Hers feels a little silkier. They look very similar, but I think hers like reflects light a little nicer. But I like the design. I like the look of him. Of course, he's got some nice pair of tails back here, and of course, a tail. I definitely like him. I like him as one of the, like, visually one of the better ones up on a shelf. He would look good. But feeling him and feeling her, he does feel just a little bit cheaper. He doesn't feel like he's quite as high a quality. I mean, the skin feels about the same. The skin color matches pretty well, although the eyes, his eyes are a lot lighter than her eyes. Her eyes are much darker blue. His are more lavender. But see, she's got the Princess Leota, the Madame Leota, exactly like the one on the key. But he also seems, maybe it's just because his doll stand's not behaving. Yeah, the doll stand's lower. He looks like he's shorter than she is, but the doll stand for some reason just doesn't want to stay up. I don't know, maybe because he's not as stiff and therefore he's putting more weight on it and it's sliding down. I don't know. But I really like the design of him. I just don't feel like he's made of the same quality stuff. I think my wife compared one of the recent ones to like feeling kind of carnival pricey. And you know, with this one, I feel like I see that more. And I don't know if that's just because this fabric feels like a little rougher, a little cheaper than the fabric on her. Was it the, that's definitely a stiffer fabric than what his bow tie is made out of. I really like the design. He's definitely one of the better designed ones in the series, but I do feel like, I wouldn't go so far as carnival price, but he does feel like he is made of cheaper stuff than she was. And don't forget, he costs more. He's like, I think $5 or $10 more. These were $30 back when they came out. I want to say these are like $35. So I think these are $5 more than the minis were. Here's the tags. The tags are quite different, aren't they? I guess it's probably been that way all year long. I've just not really looked at the tags next to each other before. So I really like the collection. It definitely is one of the better collections in the series. Probably my number one. I mean, I am a little biased towards Haunted Mansion, but I think it is probably my number one favorite. But I do feel he is not as nice as Minnie. Now on a shelf, at a distance, I don't think that's going to be super obvious. Honestly, actually, I think her coat may be a little darker too, her eyes and her coat. So while the skin's a good match, they've definitely missed in other areas. And that could also be just because these eyes feel about the same. But yeah, he feels a little bit cheaper, which is unfortunate. But I love the designs. Everything on this set is designed really nicely, which is definitely more than I feel like I'm going to be saying for next month's, or this month's, or the next one, Series 11. Obviously, we're not looking at it in November, but yeah, love the design, love the look of it. Wish the plush was just a little more quality feeling. But yeah, that is our Mickey Mouse Minnie Attraction collection for October, brought to you at the end of November. And yeah, it looks nice, but it does feel a little cheap. But overall, I do think just visually, it is probably my favorite of the 10 that have been released so far, and I really don't think 11 is going to do anything to push it out of place. Indeed, I feel it's entirely possible that 11 may be my least favorite, and then 12 is just fireworks. I don't expect much from that either, but I expected a lot. Visually, I got pretty much what I was hoping for. Quality, not so much. But that will wrap this up. If you have, clearly you've survived Thanksgiving if you're watching this, and you survived Black Friday or Green Friday or whatever you call the day after Thanksgiving, or at least Thanksgiving in the US. If you're watching this outside the US, then I'm sure you're aware of Black Friday. Our content gets everywhere, so I'm sure you're aware of it. And I think I'll end it here. You probably still have some Christmas shopping to do. I'm sure you have some Christmas shopping to do, so go get on that. Get it done early-ish. It's after Thanksgiving, it ain't gonna be that early, but get it done early-ish, and then you can just kind of relax that last weekend before Christmas. But I do thank you for watching. I hope you found it at all interesting or entertaining. If you did, go ahead and give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. And if you're interested, the 1st of December is coming up, and that means we're going to have Advent calendars. And we are going to have Advent calendars this year, and I'm looking forward to them. We've got Lego, we've got a Star Wars thing, we've got booze. So come on back for almost a full month of that, starting on December 1st. But whatever video you choose to watch next, please hurry back, and be sure to bring your death certificate if you'd like to join us.